Hello everyone and welcome to this short demonstration of Omixon Target. This is the introduction video, so it's going to be very short, only about 5 minutes long. My name is Tim Haig. I'm Omixon's Chief Technology Officer, and Omixon Target is desktop software that's built with diagnostics in mind. So there's two major functions within the tool, as you can see here. There's a data analysis function, which is for general genomic data analysis of next generation sequencing data for Illumina ion torrent or 454 data. We also have a HLA haplotyping piece, which I'll show you briefly first. This is purely for doing haplotyping within NGS data. So if your sequencing covers the HLA loci on chromosome 6, then you should be able to do haplotyping within this tool. So here's one we did earlier. This is multiple samples, and as you can see for one of these samples here, we have for each locus, HLA A, B, C, and DRB1, we mostly have two alleles for each locus. So these are the two that we found for HLA A, HLA B, HLA C, and HLA DRB1, and so on. In some cases we may have a slightly ambiguous result. For these examples it's because only one of the HLA DRB1 exons has actually been sequenced within this run. You can step in and view some more detail for your result. There's also a chart form of the same thing. I'm not going to show too much about this today, it's just to give you a very brief look at that. Within the data analysis part of the tool, the key concepts within here is a profile. So we've already actually set up the HLA and BRCA profiles within the tool, but you can also choose, for example, the CFTR profile. This will import some reference data and some known variants for this region, and also a target definition of this region to aid the analysis within the tool. So here's one we did earlier. This is a HLA experiment that was automatically created when we imported the HLA profile. I'll just click on that. So I can click on it, or I can just select it and move into an individual analysis. And I've chosen to import a couple of example samples. One of them is with paired Illumina data, one of them is with ion torrent data. And I click on this one, and earlier on I actually took the FASTQ data that was imported automatically within the profile and I mapped it, and this is showing the mapping for the data and the actual results. Because this particular data set is done with simulated data, we also have some expected results. Also, if you have Sanger sequencing for part of your target region for a particular sample, you can import the VCF variant calls as expected results in here. And the tool has some features to automatically compare expected results with the actual results that you find within the analysis tools within Omixon Target. So I click on Analyze Sample Variants. This will take me into kind of a summary view of all the variants that we've found within this sample. As you can see, it's automatically comparing the actual variants with the expected variants to see how well we did with our totals. So 97.7% of all of the variants were actually found within this. This is a particularly noisy data set for the demonstration purposes, so that we have something to show in this view. Now we automatically screen this by on-target variants and off-target variants. Now in this case, the target definition for this particular experiment, we have a look at the experiment targets, is this one here, which is HLA A, B, C, and DRB1. And only a limited number of exons 2, 3, and 4 for each of those. So you can see that this is a fairly targeted view of this particular data. So there's not that many variants that are on target that are within the exons that we've defined as our target. And there's quite a few more variants that have been included within the sequencing that are off of our target. So what we can do from here is we can move into the approval dashboard, and we can actually choose which of these variants are going to be approved and which are going to be rejected. So we may choose to approve based on certain coverage, minimum coverage criteria, on certain quality criteria, or whether or not these variants are actually within our target region or not. So we have auto approval functions. I can choose the target filter, and I can automatically approve everything that's on target. That's just an example. And having done that, I can step through the approved variants and then actually just double check and make sure that I'm happy with these. So a couple of heterozygous SNPs here, for example, that are showing up within the genome browser part. So if I step back and go back to my Analyze Sample Variant section, from here I can jump into a slightly bigger view of the genome browser. This is our genome browser, which, as you can see, has a vertical display by default. This is for analyzing multiple samples side by side. It's usually easier to do this in a vertical display. I can actually make this a bit bigger as well, so it fills the full screen. But we can also rotate the display and view this in a slightly more traditional horizontal view, which is a horizontal view of the same thing. And I can just click and drag with the mouse here, and move in and out using the mouse wheel or the plus and minus keys on the keyboard. They also work. Page up and page down will page you through the reads. These are the short reads. The lighter ones are on the forward strand, and the darker ones are on the reverse strand. I'll just rotate that back again. So I'm not going to show too much here. And here again we have some other videos that show a lot more detail about this. It's just to give you a brief overview of what we have. So just a couple of steps back out within the BRCA experiment, for example, we have a multi-sample analysis, so I can select all the samples in here and can compare those samples with a single view. And what this will show you is that line the samples up side by side. In this particular sample, we have a 62 base pair deletion that has been identified by our software. So this is this one here. So that's a very brief overview of some of the features within Omixon Target. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see some more detail, we have a number of other videos available through our YouTube channel, or you can also go onto our website and find some more information there. And via our website, you can also request an evaluation version of Omixon Target that you can try for free and give it a try for yourself. Thank you very much for listening.